Namaste. Hello to everyone. Welcome back to the Jyotish Light YouTube channel. I hope all of you are doing well in the current times. In today's session, I thought we could spend some time looking at Princess Beatrice's chart. Some of you might know that she recently got married to her longtime friend and then fiance. And I thought we could just look at her chart and just see whether, from a timing standpoint, the chart was showing that event, if I can put it that way. And so, as I'm assuming most of you would know, Princess Beatrice is part of the British royal family. She's the elder daughter of Prince Andrew and the Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson. And she is currently the ninth in line of the succession to the British throne. Now, the wedding took place on quite recently, actually, on 17 July 2020, and Princess Beatrice got engaged to a property developer and a longtime childhood friend, Eduardo Mapelli Mosey. And prior to that, in 2019, the engagement had taken place on 26 September 2019, as you can see here. So if I can just focus on the dates, the first date is for you to see is this 17 July 2020, and then the next date is 26 September 2019, right? Now, let us quickly go to some of the periods and then we'll go into the chart. So she became engaged in the major period of Saturn and the sub period of Mercury. In Charadasha, it was the major period of Aries and the sub period of Cancer. And then the marriage happened. I mean, it got delayed because of COVID, but then finally it happened in the major period of Saturn, sub period of Mercury, and sub period of Sun. And Charadasha was Aries Leo. So let's just look at the chart. This is the chart, and I'll just briefly show you both North Indian and South Indian so that you can see both. Um, now, what makes Saturn Mercury eligible? And this is where, again, it's quite obvious, at least in the main T1 chart. Saturn is the Lagna Lord for the princess and is in mutual aspect with the seventh Lord. And Mercury is in the seventh house. And when the wedding took place, which was the sub period of Sun is in the seventh house as well. So the D1 quite well explains, uh, Saturn, Mercury, Sun quite well explains the wedding. However, if just switching back, if I were to just pull the Navamsha and Navamsha, then obviously one struggles to find why Saturn, Mercury, Sun would have brought the event. Now, one thing I would say is that Mercury is the Lagna Lord of Navamsha. It is with the seventh Lord Jupiter, and Saturn aspects the first house. And so you can argue in an indirect way that Saturn Mercury would be eligible for Mercury is, but Saturn, of course, the only eligibility I find in the Navamsha when it comes to Vimshotri is that it aspects the first house, which is ruled by Mercury. Now, just in terms of Charadasha, it was Aries Leo. Now, again, this is quite interesting because Aries Leo in the Navamsha is quite obvious. The Dharakarka is in the sign of Aries, and Dharakarka, as you know, in the Gemini system denotes spouse. And Leo is aspected by the Dharakarka from Aries. So the Navamsha explains it beautifully. But then when we come to the T1 chart, Aries Leo doesn't seem to make sense. The only thing I would argue is the Upapada Lagna happens to be Libra. And so from the Upapada Lagna, if you were to take the seventh house, it becomes Aries. But again, not so direct connection, at least that I could find. Um, I do want to go to Yogini once, and so Yogini is, when the wedding took place, it was Rahu Mercury, and again, Rahu Mercury in both. I mean, in the T1 is quite obvious because Rahu will give the result of Sun and of Saturn, and Saturn is a mutual aspect with the seventh lord, and Mercury is in the seventh house. So Rahu Mercury is very much eligible. And in a way, Rahu Mercury is in Yogini is acting like Saturn Mercury in Vimshottari because we see the Navamsha where Rahu again is with Saturn, giving the result of Saturn aspecting the first house, and then Mercury is the Lagna Lord with the seventh Lord Jupiter. And just finally looking back at the transits, at the time when the wedding took place, Saturn was in Capricorn and Jupiter was in Sagittarius. So Saturn in Capricorn will aspect the seventh house, and Jupiter in Sagittarius obviously aspects the seventh lord. And this is where the beauty of the double transit also fits in. Now, just closing off, I do want to say that maybe all of this might just go over your head, and not all of you might be able to absorb whatever I said because I had to compress everything in 5 to 7 minutes. But just wanted to again use the example of Princess Beatrice's wedding to demonstrate how Jyotish can actually predict probable events to happen in the future. And sometimes the probability of those events happening comes up very strongly when multiple dasha systems line up. Sometimes, like in this case, we saw, in Vimshottari, it was coming out to be quite clear how Saturn Mercury as the period could indicate marriage. But, Charadasha, nothing came out in the T1 chart, but it came out in the Navamsha. So that's where uh, one needs to again weigh how possible or probable the event looks. And of course, in this case, transits were also blessing the event, the double transit of Jupiter and Saturn. So I hope you found this example to be instructive, interesting. Please do subscribe to the channel and provide your feedback, comments, and stay engaged to the channel and help us grow and help us share the knowledge even more. Thank you so much. This is Bullock signing off.